Now, anyone who knows me knows that I'm strongly against the idea of having PvE servers or passive servers in Sea of Thieves. That said though, there is a place for PvE content in the game. So before you fly off the handle, let me explain, as I'm sure by the end of this video, you will agree. Hey you beautiful buccaneers, Falcore here. So let me start by saying that first of all, I play this game fully as intended. I loot, I adventure, I do world events, I take on enemy threats, and I even go hunting for a steal from time to time. The core of this game is the PvEVP nature, and it's what makes the game so compelling to a player such as myself. But then, I've been playing since day one. I expect this of the game. I fully understand that this is what makes the game fun. The sense of danger from other crews is what keeps me coming back. That said though, for the longest time the developers are always trying to sell this game as a pirate adventure. They often talk about its RP elements and its story elements and its fun side, but hardly ever talk about what the majority of the players actually enjoy. You know, being a pirate. The developers are fully aware that there are people out there who want PvE servers, or co-op realms. The reason they don't do it is purely because it's not the focus for their game, and they have said this countless times, and it never will be the focus for the game. That said, however, they continue to focus their hype on the adventure side, and publicize their game essentially as a story-driven narrative. So it's no wonder that people come into this game hyped by the images of Jack Sparrow, or hyped by the exploration of the Sunken Kingdom, or Tall Tales, only to find some mouthy European teenager decked out in ashen cosmetics calling them Mummo Beast while spawn camping them. They were simply not prepared for it, and essentially lied to about the content of the game. The game itself also lies to you. On the opening screen, 3 options are present. The middle one, join forces with Jack Sparrow in a thrilling story campaign. And then the adventure mode, explore, plunder, and battle across a vast ocean. Looking at the first option, you would think, oh no, I don't want to do any battling, I just want to have a good time. So of course you would focus on the center option. You would think that the center option would be giving the player a passive story mode. But no, the only difference is, it spawns you here, instead of spawning you face down on the table in the tavern. Honestly, I have never understood the reason for this. But here's the thing, this game has a vast storyline, not just the pirate's life, but also 9 of the other original Tall Tales, and of course now, adventures, all rich with lore and immersion, gifting the player around 50 hours of content to blast themselves through. But the enjoyment for this story is often met with 2 problems. First of all, the ambient threats such as the megalodons, the skeleton ships, the skeletons that spawn on islands. Be honest, how many times have you guys been really engaged in the story of a Tall Tale or an adventure, and while speaking to an NPC to get that final juicy bit of information that you've been sailing and puzzle solving for, you're met with every ambient threat trying to kill you, as the NPC just stands there uttering vital information, and of course, the chance that someone could at any point sink you. What's happening is people are downloading this game, and the majority of the people do so for the storyline, and they jump in and have a great time, but then they are met by us regular players who just want to play adventure how it's meant to be played. And what happens is the new player receives a negative impact from this and then uninstalls. You see it happening all the time. Now within the main adventure mode, there should never be an opt-out of PvP or a passive mode, but I strongly think that this center option here should 100% be a story-focused mode. A mode where you can do the Tall Tales, complete the recent periodic time-limited adventures, and do so with like-minded crews, just like regular adventure. Except for 2 differences. PvP is totally turned off, and all other things such as ambient threats, world events, washed up loot, faction quests, milestones, and commendations are all turned off, apart from the commendations or deeds that are centered around the Tall Tales themselves. Purely from a marketing perspective, it makes sense. You're a new player, and by yourself or even with friends can venture in, complete the storyline, earn the cosmetics associated with the Tall Tales, and make some friends with other crews along the way. And once you've done everything that can be done via the Tall Tales, you can think to yourself, oh, you know what? I might give this adventure mode a try. I kind of like the idea of owning my own ship and naming it. And boom, you have a sustained player base who play the game for longer than 2 hours before getting spawn camped, who have had a nice, slow and warm introduction to the game mechanics, who have a nice starter bundle of pirate and ship cosmetics to get them going, possibly made friends with other new or even veteran players on their travels, and now they're clicking on adventure mode with the full understanding that they're about to enter a world where other players could potentially be a threat, with new mechanics, new sights to see, and a whole new host of things to unlock. Obviously, these tall tales would not just be bound only to the story mode. They could be completed in adventure mode too for people who enjoy the thrill. But doesn't it just make sense? Not just from a gameplay perspective, but a marketing perspective too. One of the biggest problems with Sea of Thieves is at the moment is it's entirely overwhelming for a new player. They have so many factions, stats, paths of alignment, story elements to figure out, and also have to deal with enemy ships on top of all of that. Turn that middle setting into a story mode, where people can get their tall tales done, or any new adventures that come out, with like-minded pirates, but only allow people in those servers to do just those things, and nothing else. No gold or reputation to be earned, just tall tales and adventure commendations. Turn off everything else that is exclusive to adventure mode, such as the new fortresses, the shrines. Make the story mode essentially a blank canvas for people to enjoy just the tall tales and adventures. I've put a poll in this video to get some feedback on this. Please click the thingy up above and cast your vote. But until next time, everybody, happy sailing. Oh wait, I just realized I didn't do anything funny in this video. There you go.